Have you got earplugs in?
Yes.
Oh. I, I am so good at whenever Tom puts earplugs in, I want to have a conversation. He hates it. And I just seem to time it like perfectly every single time.
We're Tom and Jules, and together we are taking on our biggest challenge yet. Join us as we tackle fencing, cattle, and everything it takes to bring this land back to life.
And we're back. Got a bit of a confession to make. It's probably been about 3, maybe 4 weeks since I've picked up the camera. I got sick, really sick. Nearly had pneumonia, so not ideal, but I had to kind of rest up and take it easy. And yeah, while I've been doing that, Tom's just been kind of pottering around the farm by himself, continuing on with all of the fencing that we've been trying to do to keep the cows in. So today, now that I'm back on board, we just come down to, I guess, I don't even know what you call it, the house 5 acres. So Tom's been working through putting in some new strainer posts. So he's managed to pick up some of those fancy stays that we talked about in a previous video. So we're now back down to where he got to last weekend. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but I did get myself some fancy new glasses. No more ski glasses like I'm about to hit the slopes now. I feel like I'm back to my old self. This is one of the new strainer posts you put in, Tommy, while I was down and out and dying.
What?
Have you got earplugs in?
Yes.
Oh. I am so good at whenever Tom puts earplugs in, I want to have a conversation. He hates it. And I just seem to time it like perfectly every single time. Anyway, that's one of the new strainer posts. So now he's just going to connect one of those fancy stays that we've been using. Stay number 1 done and dusted. You're interrupting the cow walkway.
What?
You're interrupting the cow's walkway.
Fuck 'em.
Bit worried the cows might trip over the post on their journey up to wherever they're going. But Tom said stuff them. I don't even know what I'm saying. I just called you a cow.
I'm about to put earplugs in. Is there anything you need to tell me?
No, go ahead and put them in. I'll think about it in a sec.
Yeah.
And cue question
Cue
in
question
3, 2, 1.
now.
Now, because he just finished putting his earplugs in. Stay number 2 is complete. Now what are you doing, Farmer Tom? Now what? Don't shake your head at me. Mister? Want to fight about it? I'll fight you. Hey! Now that second stays in, plan of attack is to get rid of this post because it's just not needed. And then Tom will replace some of these additional metal posts in. And then I guess after that point, we'll start running barbed wire. No more posts. Time to put in the red ones. What's wrong? You're thinking? Okay. I can hear it. Right, so Tom's just popped in a really long screw, I guess. What is it? It's a something screw, anyway, to reinforce this wooden post and the stay that was attached to it originally. So plan is to keep that for now until we can kind of fix up this little area that's behind me. So this section actually runs down the laneway. That'll move. Yeah, so this is it here. So we're going to keep this wooden stay and post, and it runs and connects all the way back up to that second strainer post and stay where we were before. Plan is to keep this bit so that we can kind of then work on fixing up this eventually, which then runs onto the laneway that attaches and connects to all of the different pastures or paddocks throughout the property. As you can see, some of this, I don't know if you can see that in the distance, but some of that barbed wire on all of these laneways is either broken or just completely missing. Still lots of work to do in terms of fencing. And yeah, we probably won't always show all of the fencing work that we do, purely because I guess who wants to watch, 100 hours of fencing? Not me, that's for sure. So we'll show you, I guess, the most important bits or the most damaged bits and the ones that I guess we see the most improvement. But otherwise, yeah, we'll keep pushing through with fencing and getting it done as we can in between other projects that we start identifying that are going to be needed on the property. So anyway, we'll keep moving with this and hopefully that'll fix up this main 5-acre section closest to the shed. Plan is, and I guess the reason why we're focusing on this 5-acre section right at the top of the property is we still, one, need to finish the full muster of all the cattle because we think there's still roughly probably 30 or so that we still haven't yet got through the yards to tag them and treat them and brand them. The second point being, we have identified with the other 2 musters that we have done that there are a fair number of Mickey bulls on the property. So ideally, they would have been banded or castrated when they were a calf, so you don't have to worry about that issue. But that hasn't been done. So we need to either get them in and see if they're still young enough to band them, to castrate them. And if not, then we will send them off to the sale yards to see what we can try and recoup some money and slowly just weed out the herd a little bit in terms of getting rid of just mixed breed stuff or things that we don't ideally want to keep on the property. And then Tom's plan is to bring in key breeds that he wants and then start kind of our own operation of keeping the cows that we want. And then as the calves hit the ground, we decide whether we keep them or whether we sell them off. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of the method behind the madness of trying to get this kind of top 5-acre section done. So Tom's just run the first new strand of barbed wire in this section. It starts basically at what we were calling the second strainer post. He's got the new stay in. He's run the barbed wire all the way down to another new strainer post and stay that he's put in, and then across to, I guess, the first strainer and stay post that it's in between. I don't know if you can see in the distance there, where am I pointing on camera, between that wooden post and the red first stay and strainer, there will be a gate put in there so that, I guess, yeah, like I said before, this includes the shed and all of that and the yards and everything up the top. This will all now be the new boundary that kind of joins all of that into one. One day it'd be awesome if we could bring the sheep up here from home base and have them kind of segregated into 5 1-acre lots up in this top section. But we don't see that happening for a fair while purely because we really don't know about the dog situation still in terms of those feral dogs that we've noticed there's a bit of movement from them. And we definitely don't want to move them from such a secure location at home where we are there all the time up to here and then risk dog attacks and stuff like that. So anyway, that's very future plans. slippy. Well, you're right. They're slippery. Talking of all things future before, just wondering what everyone's thoughts are on this potentially being in like 5 to 10 years' time, the house site. So Tom has always wanted to build a big like tilt slab, concrete solid house. This might be the right place for it. This is going to be your view out of the house windows. But essentially where I'm standing, you'd get like 360-degree views of rolling hills and original sheds up there. We may look to build a shed and move the yards down onto this next kind of ridge. Just we really don't feel it's working up where it is at the moment. And then you'd keep your laneway that goes all the way through. Thought anyway, it's obviously way, way, way in the future. This is where we're talking about potentially one day putting a house where we maybe can retire and grow old. Things on the wish list. So we'll see what ends up happening, but let me know what you think. When will the fencing end?
Hasn't even started.
You've only like just scratched the surface, haven't you? You haven't even...
Only just to be able to get them in the house paddock.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining that before.
This is
I'm
the
like,
easy bit.
this is the easy bit, just to try and weed out some of the like Mickey balls and stuff that just haven't been.
The easy bit.
Yeah, the adventure has only just begun. As he sighs. He's like, did you just sigh audibly? Rock of Ages. If anyone hasn't watched it,
that's not very rock and roll.
check it out.
Should have just bought a beach house at Cardwell.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I feel like then you'd still be dealing with some sort of nonsense. I'd much rather the countryside and a freshwater creek than sand and salt water.
Give me crocodiles and sandflies and
Yeah. Can and will find anything that bites you. Why not, Tom? Mosquitoes, sandflies. Just one of my many talents. Yeah, so Tom's just running out the last strain of barbed wire on this section. Run the 3 strands of barbed wire down on the 3 hole posts that run down that way. And then, frustrating, but these posts that were already in the ground and we've just decided to reuse them all have 4 holes in them, similar to that front section of fence that we did the other day. We've managed 3 down that way and then 4 coming through here. Hopefully the cows respect it enough, having different strands of barbed wire running in opposite areas. Yeah, like I was saying before, Tom's reinforced it with new strainer posts and stays, so hopefully they respect it. That, I guess, is ticking off one of the main sections of the top 5 acre section where we can start pushing the cattle up into, to be able to hold them, to be able to push them into the yards and then sort through them. And then we can look to, I guess, sell or offload the ones that we don't necessarily want to keep on the property anymore. And then eventually, as we continue to fix more fencing and get rid of some of the weeds and everything, get on top of that, we'll be able to bring in much better breeds or better conditioned cattle onto the property so that we can then run it as we want to, with the view to set up, that sort of cow-calf operation. And voila! New barbed wire, 4 strains, done and dusted. Hey, little fella, you're nice and tiny, aren't you? You still got your cord. Coffee. Good boy, mate. Everyone's come in to say hello. Even Big Reg. What you doing, mate? Big Reggie. Peggy.
Righto, let's go.
Yeah. Oh. Hi guys.